up next, or up first, we have Rachel. Rachel, go ahead and unmute. Thank you.
Hello. I want to know about what do you think about the COVID-19 vaccine? Do you recommend it?
Well, that's a complicated subject, but I can tell you what I recommend is the same thing that Mary and I and Heather and other members of my family have done, is to take advantage of this vaccine. But there's some hesitation. The main hesitation I have is that it's only going to be good for a short period of time, because the variants are rising at such a rate, such a frequency that, even though this vaccine may work with minimal side effects, we're going to have to get boosters, so they say, very, very often. So that's my main hesitation. There are a few people who don't do well with the vaccine, but most people do. I'll tell you why I did it, why Mary and I did it, is we haven't had a chance to hold our grandchildren. We have 7 grandchildren. We haven't held them in over a year. And getting the vaccine, and we did get the vaccine ourselves. We got the J&J, just was more convenient. And at least gave us some peace of mind, some comfort. In addition to the fact that, as I told you, people who eat well, and Mary and I eat really well. People who eat well have a very low risk of going on to serious complications. I don't want to test my theories, at least with myself. So we are very careful about social distancing. We keep our contacts to a minimal. We always wear masks and, wash hands, the usual things that people do. This is a real serious illness. So, that's how I feel about it. I can understand if you have some hesitation. But the reasons I did it were, hey, it was so good to hold my grandkids. Really. Well worth it.
Thank you, Doctor. Up next, we have John L. John, if you'd go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hi, Doctor. I think most people in the seminar agree plant-based is the way to go. One of the debates is raw versus cooked. So obviously, the starches that you emphasize, can any of them be eaten cooked? I mean, raw? And if not, what's your comment on raw diet?
Well, maybe potatoes. You might get by with potatoes. They'd be kind of tough, but I think you can eat those raw. I believe that cooked food is the food of human beings. Just you date back in time, the onset of brain development in the hominoid was correlated at the same time as the introduction of fire. Just from a practical point of view, if you believe in a starch-based diet, it makes it quite impractical to eat like I recommend. In fact, I think, my thoughts when I initially think of a raw diet is let me tell you, I remember an experience. My thought when you eat a raw diet is you can eat fruit, and then you can eat nuts and seeds, or the butters of nuts and seeds. And so you're eating fruit, sugar, nuts and seeds, fat. So this is a diet of fat and sugar. Doesn't make sense. You'd never feed an entire population of people on a diet of fruits and nuts, and you can't produce enough. But you can do it on a starch-based diet. And again, that's been the diet of human beings that have, people have gone to battle, won Olympic events. In fact, all of your long distance endurance athletes eat a diet similar to what I recommend. Why? Because they want to win. So I can't see raw as anything more than a theory that is troublesome and impractical for most people. I'm not saying it's not unhealthy. I mean, anytime you eliminate the meat and the dairy and the oil, you're going to do much better. But again, it's kind of tough to live on sugar and fat. Complex carbohydrate, that's what they call a starch. It's what people used to eat up until they became rich. And they became rich because of the Industrial Revolution and the harnessing of fossil fuels. And then we developed a whole world where half the people live like kings and queens. They eat at Burger King, Dairy Queen. They eat imperial margarine. It's pretty easy to figure out, isn't it? Why people are sick. The important thing is to get this figured out before we don't have a chance. And the people that I follow in the scientific community say we're so far gone in this environmental destruction journey that only by the addition of massive changes in the diet of the planet will we make a difference. Just, everybody driving an electric vehicle, not enough. Everybody with solar panels, not enough. Changing the diet, well, I certainly believe it's enough, or I wouldn't continue to try and get people to change. And believe me, this is all I'm going to be doing for the rest of my life, is trying to preach this message to people. Why? Because the diet that we've used for 44 years, no animal foods, the high productive value, the potato is it is the most productive of all calorie-giving trees, fruits, etc. It is the potato is the most, gives you more food, more calories, in a wider range of elevations, of temperatures, of dryness of the soil. It is just an amazing food, potatoes. As a matter of fact, I did a whole talk on potatoes that you can find on our YouTube channel. It's an all-day long talk on potatoes. I'm Irish. We have a fond spot for potatoes because when potatoes were introduced into Ireland, the population of Ireland doubled, and they used to talk about the young Irish ladies and how pretty they were when they were potato eaters. I believe it. Of course, when the potato became a difficult thing to get, then they had a famine. And the English were very helpful at starving out these poor Irish.